We're going to go ahead and get started learning about PHP, but before we do so, I wanted to introduce you to a couple of other resources. These are PHP online editors. They will provide you with an in-browser IDE and an online server for PHP and MySQL. They also run HTML, CSS, and JavaScript coding. You can do all of this online. For some reason, if you don't want to install a local host and you don't have a hosting option, you can still go through the lessons that we're doing by using PHP CLI, which stands for Command Line Editor, or the PHP Online Editor. The URL for the PHP Online Editor is jdoodle.com/PHP-online editor. And for the PHP CLI Online Editor, the URL is replit.com/languages/PHP_CLI. Both of these options are set up in a very similar fashion. You would basically write the code in the left-hand pane, and in regards to the PHP CLI, you'll simply click Run, and this will run your code. You can, of course, write your own code in here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just make an opening and closing PHP tag, and then I'm going to go ahead and type PHP info. PHP info is essentially a function of PHP that is going to return compiled information about the PHP environment on your server. So this is going to contain the PHP version, extensions, compilation options, server environment, PHP environment, the operating system, and all kinds of different sorts of things. Because every system is set up a little bit differently, this PHP info command is commonly used just to check the configuration settings for an available predefined variable on any given system. We sometimes also use this as a debugging tool because it's going to give you more information about your operating system. If I go ahead and copy this command and go into our other online PHP editor, and I'm going to replace what is currently here, and on this particular one, I'll click Execute, you can see that the same sort of thing happens. The results are going to show in the pane that's in the bottom instead of to the right of the pane where we enter our code. We're not going to really do too much with either of these particular pages, but I did want to show them to you and introduce them to you in case you wanted to use these as a space to code your PHP. I, however, am going to be using the local host method as I explained in the previous video, and I will be using MAMP and developing locally, but these are other options for you to use in case those didn't work for you or in case you just didn't want to install them for some reason.